All right. Welcome to the Swing Lethal podcast. I think this is somewhere along the lines of episode 5.
Hell yeah, we're doing
So,
it.
we are short today, one of our co-hosts, but I got my boy Thundercat here with me, so we're going to have a couple chats. There's a lot of things going on in the TCG space, and I wanted to talk about it. Um, Kind of deep dive into a few things that have happened recently, and then just kind of see, check in with everyone, see how everyone's been doing. So, how you been, Thundercat?
I've been great. I've been great. My TCG time has been awesome. Some things we're going to talk about in this pod. I don't want to get into too much right now, but Riftbound. We've been playing Riftbound.
Hmm.
It's the League of Legends TCG. I am very presently surprised at how well they've been able to um balance and support the game, not in terms of product because product's been non-existent, but in terms of playing, each game feels really interactive and really fun. And something that I always look for in my games is how much do I have to be on during the game, right? It's one of the reasons I don't love Bandai games is because when my opponent's playing their turn, I'm not really doing anything. And Riftbound has managed to kind of toe that line where I still feel like I'm engaged on my opponent's turns. So I've been having a lot of fun with Riftbound. I've been getting more into Netrunner. Netrunner's been great. I went to an event, actually a Magic event in LA, Infinity Loop. Shout out them. They throw amazing events. But I saw somebody there who follows us, and he saw on our story that we had posted a Netrunner card, and he's like, "Yo, you guys play Netrunner? That's so cool! Like, I just got into it, and it's like, fuck yeah, there's a community out there. Netrunner's been so fun. Really enjoying that. Um, Excited for Avatar release this weekend. I don't know
Oh,
if I'm gonna
yeah.
be able to make.
I forgot about that. Man.
Yes, Avatar's being released this weekend. The set looks actually like pretty fun. Um, Blue red lessons looks awesome. Rakdos fire bending. I'm so sorry, fire bending looks awesome. I want to play those cards. I'm gonna try to make a pre-release. Flesh and Blood's been great. World's Philly is going on right now. Like as we are recording this, it's going on. I just watched round one, and I watched what I assume can only be the first of several. So many Syndra games that are going to be on camera.
Hmm.
There's something like 86 Syndras or some shit like that.
I haven't even seen the
Uh,
breakdown yet, but I'm sure I'm gonna find out here soon. I'm gonna be a message about the
it's a
the, the
lot.
building.
She's
Yeesh.
great, and I love her. And hold on. There's nothing wrong with Syndra. Syndra's fine. The ninjas are okay. Don't ban anything out of ninjas. Leave Flick Knives alone.
Hey man, I don't know. I don't know. But
How's your TCG time been since we've been back? What have you
very
been doing?
similar to yours. We obviously it's people might be surprised, but we play a lot of games together.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, actually.
Um, so yes,
Breaking the news.
yeah, breaking news. We actually hang out. But yeah, uh, yeah, basically the same thing. I've been playing a lot of Netrunner. Not a lot of Netrunner, but I've been playing a decent amount of Netrunner. Got the decks printed and cut, and got into Riftbound. Riftbound's been totally consuming my life, which I guess we can get into right away. So let's go into
Oh
Riftbound
yeah.
first. Yeah. So Riftbound is a new TCG released by Riot Games. It is their League of Legends paper TCG. Obviously, we have Legends of Runeterra. These are not the same game. These are very different games. Um, this game is just like it came out on Halloween, so about 2 weeks ago.
Yes. It's US release on Halloween.
Yes, US released on
It
Halloween.
had been released in China for a while.
Yeah. The cards look cool. The game plays a lot like a mix of a couple other games. It has some inspirations from here, inspirations from there. I've had someone describe it as essentially a mix between Magic and One Piece, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that. Um, and yes, I agree with your earlier statements that it has a surprising amount of interaction. There's a surprising amount of
Yeah.
stuff happening on both players' turns. Um, I particularly like something about the game is the recycle system and power system when it comes to costs. Um,
Mhm,
so in this game, you know you have the regular startup. It has its own resource deck, and at the beginning of your turn, you take from the resource deck and put it into the field. There's no mana screw. Um, but your cards have something. They have a cost, and then they have a power cost, which means you have to take cards from your land base and put them back into your land deck, essentially. And that
your
makes like,
rune deck.
yeah, your rune deck. I apologize, your runes. That makes balancing your runes important because the power cost is color specific. So you have to kind of
Mhm.
like figure out like the correct balance of runes to play in your 12 card rune deck. So deck building's been super fun because it's like, okay, I got to figure out like curves and stuff, which is sometimes that's not the case in these games that have guaranteed resource. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's been my favorite part of playing this game is it's the first one to correctly do reliable resources in my opinion. I do not like Star Wars Unlimited or Lorcana where you look at your hand and you go, "Oh, I'm not playing this card currently. I'm going to set this card in my inkwell or in whatever it is in Star Wars." Um and I know, like, they introduce mechanics to get the cards back and stuff. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Like, I don't want to put my best cards in a place where I don't have access to them.
mm,
That's also why I don't like prize cards in Bandai games or life cards. So this is the first reliable resource fix that has felt fun and interactive
mm,
because we get the cards. It's not like we're gonna miss out on like our drops, our resource drops, but ramp decks still exist because aggro cards are like overvalue cards like to push your game forward faster.
mm,
Those cards eat your runes. Like
yeah.
they have power costs and those eat your runes. And it's like we played a game or I played a game where I recycled 3 runes in a turn playing Jinx. I'm like a card, recycle, card, recycle, card, recycle, and it's like I have 3 runes. Like I'm like
Mhm.
I'm set back so far.
Yeah.
Um, but the opposite side of that, ramp decks exist. Dazzling Aurora is like the best card in what is that body?
Yeah. It's the best card in
Is that
body.
body?
Yeah, yeah. It's the
Yeah, it's
orange. Yeah.
it's the best body card out in the game, and it's 9 costs, and that whole deck is ramp, 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 only big drops. We've seen this archetypes in other games, but like their ability to balance their resource system has enabled people to actually care about playing ramp decks and like making those trade-offs and going the other way and playing aggro decks and being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get rid of I'm gonna recycle my runes."
Mhm. Yeah, like randomly, I don't know. This game it's very unique. I was afraid when I first saw it that it wasn't going to be unique and that it's just going to be another carbon copy of another game and that Riot's getting into a space that they don't quite understand and that kind of blows, which is true. They don't quite understand it. We can tell from the
The
product
release.
release. Yeah, the release was pretty abysmal. Um,
Hmm.
Now we've gotten promises of fixes and stuff, but we'll see if those actually help. That is the one thing about the game that I'm a little sad about is product is impossible to find or get. Not many stores did like big openings, and the ones that did, you know, they're selling at a premium. Cards are freaking insane. Like
Yeah.
randomly, you'll have all these commons that are like 10 cents, but then you'll be like, oh hey, I want to play. You mentioned body. I want to play Aurora. How much is my Aurora deck gonna cost? And it's like, oh, that's an $800 deck. Like just out the get go
For
off
a
of
game with one set
yeah,
out.
for a game with a single set, $800 deck. There's 6 cards in the deck that are worth money, and that's where that is the deck. You need Dazzling
Yeah.
Auroras, you need Dead Bloom Predators, and those cards alone are $600. You know,
Yeah.
so that is it can be we like there's a lot of talk about like for instance like Flesh and Blood being cost prohibitive to like new players. This game is like not only is it cost prohibitive, but it's like just product prohibitive. Where it's like there's not enough product. Because there's not enough product, there's not enough or it costs way too much. So the
Mhm.
supply demand right now for this game is just it's not right. It's not in the right spot. Um and the fix so far that we've been promised is, hey, we're releasing more product. It's gonna be there soon. It should be, the first wave
Do
should
you
be before Christmas.
do you think they're going to course correct? Riot will course correct this release problem before Spirit Reforged or
Um,
Spirit, whatever the fuck, because we
I
have literally the next set is in February. It's like 2 months away, 2.5 months away.
Yeah. Um. So this is another thing too. They had to like openly apologize about the next set because the next set has also already been printed. So I don't actually know. I don't think so. I think it might still be bad in Spirit Reforged. I think we might get a slightly larger release. If I had to assume, if I had to assume based on their sales, they go, oh shoot, that's a lot more sales than we were expecting straight out the gate, or a lot faster, right? Like that
Mhm,
sold way faster than we were expecting. Um, we should probably order more. So they might have a faster second wave of Spirit Reforged versus this set
mhm,
or Origins, but I think we'll still have a lot of the same issues with the second set. Another thing that they mentioned in the second set is there was some problems when printing that made it to where there may or may not be the correct number of rares in your pack,
mhm,
and they had to
mhm,
release a statement about that, which is like, hey, it's not to our standard, it's not to most game standards when it comes to pack openings, and there may or may not be some issues with that. So there are issues when it comes to the release of the game, but the game itself and how it plays, I'm a fan of. Now, is it
mhm.
as competitively oriented as, let's say, Flesh and Blood? No, I don't think anything will be, but is it fun to play, and is it interesting to build, and is it, a good time? And does it have cool cards that you can relate to and that you enjoy because it's from a different IP? Yeah, it's cool. It's really fun. I've been having a lot of fun playing into it and trying out all these heroes and doing different things. I actually just like I'm looking for more chances to play it. That's kind of like where I'm at. But yeah.
Yeah. Give me I want to get into like Flesh and Blood and Netrunner
Hmm.
and stuff. So on Riftbound, give me two positives and two things that I think you'd like to see changed or fixed in the future. Just for the game it's just coming out.
Two. Okay, the positives. And I think this is the positives for just like games in general recently. We've been seeing a lot of games shift to uh, format, which is the hero based format, right? The this is what I'm playing. I am playing
The
this here.
commanderification of TCGs.
Yes, the commanderification of TCG. Literally, yeah. Actually, that's a good uh the analogy there. But yeah, yes, I enjoy having an identity and having that. Hey, this is what my hero is gonna do. This is how it's gonna play. I have this identity, and this is like my building restriction. And this game does it really well, and they found new interesting ways of making their legends um in the form that they do too. So you have your
Mhm.
actual like hero, which is like, hey, I'm playing Leona, and then you
Your
have
legend.
then you have a chosen champion, which is
Mhm.
essentially a copy or like one of your legends that you have constant access to, which is commander, right? It's in a champion
Yeah.
zone. It's blah blah blah, and yeah, your chosen legend or your chosen champion is like I like that like idea that you can you have your legend, you have your chosen champion, you have an idea of what you're trying to play towards in each game. Um, and the second thing I really like in this game is the battlefields. I think
Mm,
having multiple battlefields and having different ways of playing around each battlefield is also super super fun. Like those are the two
mhm.
things that really shine out to me as being super interesting.
Oh yeah.
What about you?
Well, let me hear the two improvements.
Oh, two improvements. Yes. Well, outside of printing, outside of like the actual release of the game, just like the game itself, um, hmm, that is very interesting. I feel like they've hit so many marks on creation. Hmm. I guess the one thing that I'd like to see more of, or I'd like to like figure out more of, well, gosh, that's another thing too, is I don't know what the rotation looks like. I don't know what the banning looks like. I don't know what their plans are when it comes to balance and things like that. But one thing that I just because of how powerful it seems to be is like targeted removal and damage removal and like low cost units. It like Kai'Sa's the best deck in the format by like a pretty large margin, I would say. And the reason that she's that is because she just does not let you keep a fucking unit, man. And I think having more ways of making those cards harder to play against you would be better. They made something already. It's called deflect.
Select.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that is like not quite enough. Like it probably needs like to be ramped up. Like instead of just
Mhm.
deflect, oh, this thing has deflect. I think more things need to have like deflect two or something. You know, like
Yeah,
um,
because deflect, the mechanic in itself is it costs you a power, so you have to recycle a rune to target that unit that has deflect.
yes,
So it is like the keyword deflect does mean one recycled rune. It's
yes,
not like deflect, comma, three exhaust or anything like that. It doesn't have like you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like
It's not
prefacing
ward.
the
It's not.
amount. Yeah,
It's different.
it's just one recycled
Yeah.
rune.
There are some units that have like deflect two or deflect three or whatever. I don't think there's any unit deflect three yet, but there are units with higher levels of deflect. Um, but yeah, I think that there should be probably more of that, or there should be higher health units. I know that we've said that the sweet spot is six in the game, and it definitely feels like maybe they didn't, maybe they did. I'm not sure, but it feels like they knew that, and they decided that they wanted more units to be at that six, like at that six health that can be removed. And I think that they should probably have a little bit more of the like cost curve, seven units, seven cost units or whatever, seven power units or whatever, might units.
Might might
Yeah.
unit.
Just like some way of curving this, like this just such oppressive spot removal that exists. um that being said, uh there are definitely interactions where I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's fun. That's interesting. Okay, cool. You know, he kept this up
Mhm.
to do this, to that, blah blah blah. Yeah, there are ways around it, but it just seems a little oppressive at the moment. So maybe we see
Mhm.
a curve shift just slightly. Um,
Yeah, into more mid-range late game decks.
yeah, and that might not be everyone's thing. You know, you could also just like make the burn cards that you do make cost more. You know, like they are more powerful, but in turn they set you back a little bit further. Maybe like I don't know,
Yeah.
because at the moment I feel like they they do damage, they draw you cards, and they don't cost anything, and you're just like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
A
yeah.
couple things I liked, just to get into real quick, those is uh the game feels so rewarding to pilot that like want it's making me want to play the game more often because every time I sit down and I have a match I go, "Oh, I just clocked a fucking mistake and I can fix that now going forward." Like I went to a Riftbound event on Sunday and I overcommitted to a battlefield that I knew was going to get reconquered.
Mm,
Well, okay, it's not that. I overcommitted because I knew I could conquer it. Like I was playing against an Aurora opponent who was they're playing Misfortune Aurora, and I moved in on like a Dead Bloom Predator or something, or like a Slicer, Mind Splitter. I moved in on it and created a showdown and used an ability to remove the unit before combat happened. So I knew I was taking it. The problem is I overcommitted, and because of that overcommitment, I lost both my units in the on his next turn, rather than losing one and keeping one in base to reconquer something. And it like actually lost me the like the match in that
mm,
round. I ended up taking that round, but the game has so many decision points, and I think it has to do with battlefields and card timings and like limited resources, not even in runes but like movement, right?
mhm,
Like when you move something it becomes exhausted, but there's extra spots to move things. You want to know, like, you have to think of to next turn. There's just so many decisions that you get to make as a pilot that you have autonomy over, and it feels really really rewarding because of that. That's like my biggest takeaway from this game.
mhm,
um I'd say my like other favorite part of this game is like you were talking about identity. Uh, I don't play League of Legends, but I like Riot because everything in the peripheral of League has been a banger, right? Arcane was great. I'm a fan of 2XKO. Um, this has been really good, and it like I get to resonate with these characters in ways that not every enfranchised league player is, right? I don't know Timo. I don't have hate for Timo because I've never had to play against Timo. I see Timo hiding a bunch of cards and being super like feeling like is it or Demir tempo, and I like it. I like it a lot. I'm like, here's my tiny guy who's gonna conquer this base. Don't come over here because I have 2 hidden cards because I'm allowed to. Flip these hidden cards, do some tricksy shit. Like identity is a really big thing that I like in games. I love it in Fab. I love it in Netrunner. And this game had like smash hit with like identity and like being able to resonate with characters. Those are my two big things I like about this game. One thing I would fix about this game, an improvement, is just fucking consolidate the rules and put them in a spot. It's so fucking
That's
hard to get rulings in this game. I
uh,
Riot's cute with naming the erratas patch notes because they're a
mhm.
video game company. I like that. That was cute. I need the rulings. I need judges already. I need to
I
know
know.
what's allowed.
I spent a weekend because we went to our first locals and there was a lot of rules questions going around. Obviously, it's a new game. Everyone's like, "How does this work? What do we do here?" And then I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what that is." Hey, you would ask me, "Hey, did you read anything about this? Did you read anything about that?" And I was like, "I didn't read anything about that. I read the FAQ, but this, I don't know." So I went and I deep dived the rules, and the rules are fucking wacky. uh,
Yeah,
that's not to say any like bad about the company or whatever. Rules are hard and they're hard to consolidate and they're hard to like keep track of and everything else. That's
yeah.
just that
Magic
that
still
is
has
true. Yeah,
fucking tough rules to find,
yeah,
but you can find them
yeah.
in a timely manner.
So I went and I was looking. I read through it all, and the one thing that I wanted to mention, I was like, well, one more thing about the game that I want to like consolidate is it talks a lot about targeting, but there's not fucking cards in the game that target things. Like it's like when
It
you're
says
when you're
choose a unit.
targeting, yeah, it doesn't even change. Yeah, like yeah, that's true. Sometimes it'll be like
Deal
choose unit,
five to
yeah,
a unit.
yeah. Deal 5 to a unit, pick a unit at a battlefield or something, or it wouldn't even say pick. Like let me see if I can find singularity. Like singularity is like the one card that I think has like actual text that's like, hey, you choose a unit or whatever. Yeah, oh right here, right. So this isn't singularity. This is just this is Blast Confay. This is another popular blue card. It says when you play me,
Be on the screen.
give a unit that thing, right?
Yeah.
Give a unit -2 to a minimum of one. Um, that like give a unit like apparently that's targeting. That means you are targeting a unit, right? Um, and
Yeah.
there's that is the wording for basically everything, and that makes it to where it's like super difficult. For instance, we had this not a judge call, but we had this like, hey, we don't know how this rule works, which is bullet time. Bullet time says
Hmm.
it deals 8 damage or whatever, however much you want to pay into
Equal to
it.
the amount of recycled runes.
Yeah, equal number of cycle runes to units at a battlefield, right? So the way
I
that
thought it was
that
at all
reads,
battlefields.
it just says to units at a battlefield. So the way that that reads is that if they are at a battlefield, they take that damage, right?
Yeah.
But you have to choose a battlefield. You choose at this battlefield. All these units take 8 damage. Yeah.
I played that wrong.
So did
I
I.
got I got hit by too much shit. I
Yeah.
wasn't playing bullet time. I got hit by bullet time. Yeah, see, like
Hmm.
I just want like literally Riot, please, if you're listening, I don't think you are. Uh just make a website that's riftbound.rules.com. That's it. Put all the fucking I'll go through them. Like cuz like you and I are like we're like if we don't know the rules, we want to.
Hmm.
We both want to be informed players.
I just want to
So,
make sure that we're
I
playing the way that it's like intended to be played. Like obviously when they
yes.
design these cars, they have an idea of how they work, and
There's an
that's how I
intent. Yeah,
want
there's an
them to
intention.
work. Yeah, when I'm playing the game as well, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. But yeah, okay. We can move on
Yeah.
from there. We had huge,
I am.
obviously, like you said, Worlds is happening for Flesh and Blood. We're huge Flesh and Blood players. Um, and we just got the keynote. Yeah, we just got the keynote yesterday. So we have a lot of the spoilers, not spoilers, but a lot of the stuff that they're releasing that they're coming out soon. And then obviously we'll have the results and everything else that are happening this weekend after the fact. Maybe next week or whenever we have the next chance to talk about it, we'll talk about Worlds. The results of Worlds, not necessarily the keynote. This is more just about, hey, here's all the cool stuff that's happening or that's coming out soon. And then there's one other thing that's happening in Flesh and Blood. It is the moving away from the battle hardened system and moving to the showdown system, which
Hmm.
is pretty interesting. But is there anything in the keynotes that you particularly like to see or that you were like, oh, super excited about that you're like, hey, that's super cool. I can go through everything that's coming out in the keynotes if you want me to do that first. But
No, 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 no.
all right, all right,
I have my favorite thing already.
all right.
Um, I'm super looking forward to next year. They got a bunch of product coming out. Very excited. The keynote gave us a first glimpse at the roadmap. We're getting a bunch of shit. My favorite thing that was spoken on about the keynote comes out next month. Arachne, Slip Through the Cracks, Armory deck. I need it. Those cards. Okay, we got 3 cards spoiled for that deck. Those are going to be the original cards, or at least, I don't know if there's more or not, but that's what we saw, 3 of them. um we saw Creep. It is a head jab in the way that all stealth head jabs are head jabs. It's a red 0 for 3 block with stealth, but this one says your next attack action card you play this turn with stealth has go again. So ninja shit. I get to do ninja shit finally. I've always said that Slippy, the only reason I like playing Slippy is because it feels like you can do ninja shit in Assassin. Now you're going to be able to go start my turn with Creep, then play Infect, then play Infect again if I want to, or, just a better card. You get to go 3 chain links wide way more reliably with this card. I'm so excited. It's fucking cool. The art's really interesting. It's awesome. It feels like a I don't know if I'm the only one getting this vibe. It feels like a Macbeth, or like some kind of like Greek play, like villain archetype character. Like, oh, this person is the personification of sorrow in this play or some shit. I don't know. Maybe Macbeth's wrong. It feels like a Greek tragedy character coming to kill the play. I don't know what it is. That's awesome. Then we get horrors from the past. It's a yellow 2 for 3 stealth attack. It gets the text box of another stealth attack you've played this turn. I don't know exactly the wording. I can't bring it up. You know what? I can look it up because, you know, this is edited. So, okay. Horrors of the Past is a yellow 2 attack 3 block stealth. It says when this attacks, it gets the base abilities of the last attack action card with stealth you control on the combat chain. If you play this after Creep, you get to go so fucking wide. I'm jealous of whoever gets to do that for the first time because I want it to be me. It's a great utility card. It's like it feels like the most toolboxy toolbox card. I really like it. Um, Also beautiful art. It's somebody dying 3 times. I don't know. It's great. Lastly, last card. I just want to go over real quick.
Mhm.
Rage Baiters. I don't care what the card does. It's called Rage Baiters. I need the gloves. That's
Yeah.
my favorite thing out of the keynote. What about you?
Well, my favorite thing is probably okay. There's 2 things that I can think of, so I'll cover both, but I'll talk about how why Compendium specifically is my favorite. So
Okay.
Compendium is my favorite thing. Obviously, the next set looks super fun. The other thing that I was like super excited for is, like you said, we got to see the roadmap, and in the roadmap we have a mastery pack coming out in Q3 and in Q4,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, 2 mastery packs 1 year, like, I wonder what classes are
Ranger.
getting. Fucking dude, pirate. Give pirate something, man. Like
Pirate, bro. Rangers. Rangers need help.
I don't know. We'll see about this LL. We'll see how LL goes, but yeah, no.
Okay,
Um
so you're saying Compendium's your favorite?
yeah, Compendium is my favorite. I think the idea, so I interviewed the guys over at Flesh and Pod, um, Logan at Nationals, and I had asked Logan and Az at Nationals what their hot take was, and Logan's hot take and Az ended up agreeing with him was that we needed to go back to these sets. We needed these sets, and these sets could have reprints, and these sets blah blah blah, and these sets can do this for the game, and they're really good for this for the game, and they had all these reasonings, and I was like, okay, you've convinced me, and then they release Compendium, and it's literally everything that Logan and Az were talking about in that in that section, that interview, and I was like, damn, you guys were on to something. You guys got hit it
Mhm.
on the fucking nose. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm like, I'm super excited to see Fables being reprinted. I'm super excited to see a bunch of these, the Balance of Justice reprint, the Shelter from the Storm reprint. Shelter from the Storm as a legend Dairy card though is, or not legendary, but like as a legend, whatever the
as
fuck
an
the
L.
rarity, yeah, as an L. That's fucking atrocious. But whatever, it is what it
I mean, they
is.
did the same thing with Command and Conquer.
Yeah,
What
Command
are
and
we gonna
Conquer
do?
and
What are
fucking
we gonna
and
fucking do?
Codex or whatever. But yeah, 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 I get it. Still bums me out. Not being able to draft the set might suck a little bit. It is what it is. We've had non-draftable sets in the past. That being said, the last non-draftable set that they had, which was Dusk Till Dawn, is the best-selling set that they've ever had, which is a crazy thing that came out of the keynote, right? Like, I think that's what he said, right? It was Dusk Till Dawn
Yeah,
was yeah,
no, he said it. Yeah,
yeah. Um, yeah, I was like, what the heck? Like, I would not have assumed that, especially considering the fact that I can still buy Dusk Till Dawn product, but I can't buy High Seas
Ices
or Rosetta or
hunted.
Hunted. Yeah. But hey, then that is what it is. Uh, Dusk Till Dawn, there's still Dusk Till Dawn product available in the form that they had like chase cards in those too. Where like, hey, like you can get this card, you can get this, you can get it.
Warmongers.
Yeah. Well, no, there's like test cards that they released that you can also pull, like 13 test cards, and there's like blah blah. Like there's like random like really chase cards in these in Dusk Till
Oh
Dawn,
shit.
and most of them have not been found yet. Like, yeah, and apparently that's the highest selling product ever. So that's crazy to me that there's still those like legendary chase cards, the James White signed esque type cards, that are
Yeah.
still being searched for in that set. But regardless of that makes me excited, and I like the fact that they were like, hey, and this is like they're like premium packs. It kind of reminds me of like set packs, at least set packs when they were first released for Magic, where it's like, oh, there's gonna be 3 to 4 rares in every pack, and there's gonna be this, and there's gonna be that, and um, the world premiere, it's heavily supporting the format that was recently announced, the Silver Age, right?
Hmm.
So I'm really excited to see what it does because it's Compendium's gonna do a lot for the game in the form that it's gonna hopefully we hope that it makes the game more affordable. We hope that it brings support to the heroes that we think need support. If we liked expansion slots, we'll fucking love another like essentially an expansion set, right?
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite parts about Crucible is like I loved Mech, but Mech sort of sucked donkey until Crucible came out. So
When the fuck have you ever said donkey wee
I didn't
wee?
want to say dick, but then I was like, this is way worse. I should have just said we. I should have just said dick. I'm cutting that. I'm cutting that straight from the fucking
Don't cut
pod.
it. Don't cut it. We got our cold open.
But yeah, Mac wasn't the only one that was rough. A couple classes were rough on release, but Mac specifically because of the fact that it was in a draftable set and the way that it works, boost and everything else, they just felt really bad. Cards didn't feel good, and then it wasn't until Crucible came out that it's like, oh, this is an actual class that does actual things. Um, and Yeah, I think that that'll help a lot, with different things. We've seen art for a bunch
Yeah.
of people. There's a lot to be excited about when it comes to the set, and then obviously, like I said, we're moving away from battle hardened system, right? And I mentioned they announced that they're going to stop doing battle hardens and that they're instead going to do something that they're coining showdowns. Battle hardens were usually like 2Ks. They're the events essentially like capped out at making you make 800 bucks,
128
whatever it
people.
was. Yeah, 128 people. Or well, the event
That's
cap
pretty
I'm not really
expensive.
sure about, but like the actual like prize cap was always pretty low.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they said, hey, we think you guys have been really showing up and showing out for all these events, and we can provide you guys with more prize because of that, right? Obviously Houston had 500 and something players. Like, there's
Yeah.
like there are these very large battle hardens that were happening, and it's like, dude, like when these battle hardens happen, we need to have a second battle harden or a third battle harden just to like, appease the amount of people that are there. And the pricing doesn't translate, right? You have 5,000 people
Yeah.
show up for your battle hardened event, which has a 2,000 cash prize or whatever, $2,000 cash prize. Like that, there's something, it's not something going on. It's just they're profiting way more than they're giving out, and they literally were
Yeah.
like, hey, you guys have been supporting us. We want to support you guys and support the play. So they increased the prize. So Showdown's pricing is going to be 5K. It's going to be essentially more
Hmm.
5Ks happening throughout the year, which is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Um,
Hell yeah.
I think that's minimum too. I think they can go higher, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it too deeply. Um, and then I think they're changing it from first place getting a gold foil to top 4 getting a gold foil. which is essentially puts
Ooh,
it
fuck
like
yeah.
directly in the middle of calling, right? So calling is like a 10K, and prizing is top, or the gold foils go to top 8, blah blah blah. These showdowns will be half of a calling, you know, essentially.
Mhm.
Um, uh, and showdowns, another thing that they mentioned is that showdowns is going to be where they host or where they showcase the Silver Age format more, right? So they want to do more Silver Age in these showdown formats.
Mhm.
Um, so that means that Crucible again will be relatively important in how the development of our just entire year will be when it comes to competitive play, because we're going to see a lot more Silver Age at these events. And if what they've said is true, then we're going to see a lot more support for Silver Age, right? So a lot more rares that you're going to need to pick up from Crucible to play Silver Age. Obviously, so it's the rares. Prices won't be crazy, but
The
it'll
game has been commons and rares are about the same, and then like majestics are the rares of the game,
mhm,
and then you only go up from there. So it's gonna be good to see that rarity broken up to like actually mean something now, because before this rares just meant you see it a little less often, but it's they're not gonna hold as much value
mhm.
on average, and it's gonna be where the M's, the majestics are gonna like be where, you know, those are the actual chase cards, the shit you want. But now that we have a format that is confined to the first two rarities, it's gonna be really cool to see them push the envelope with what they can design in that space. Playing some Silver Age already, I want to see more equipment. Everybody's playing the fucking
Blade
you know,
Beckoner or whatever.
Blade Beckoner equipment. Um I just want to see more diversity. I just want to see like people play like class specific equipment, right? Not just generically like, hey, this can get me 2 block theoretically, so I'm gonna just play them. I'm excited for how Compendium affects that. I am sad it's not a draftable set. With this world's not having draft in it, I am really, really missing out on my limited content. Like you said earlier, like Flesh and Blood is the most competitive TCG that we have. It's so competitively minded that formats that aren't in the spotlight for competitive events aren't played. So, like our locals, nobody drafts, nobody wants to draft because it's not in competitive rotation. And with this, and then the next Pro Tour not having draft, that does make me a little sad. But the one thing that brings me up is that Brian Gottlieb did confirm that draft isn't going away as a format. It'll be in the Pro Tour after Yokohama. It'll be at Vegas.
Vegas.
So you'll see us there. We're gonna be there, and I'm gonna fucking draft. I'm gonna get invited and draft or whatever the fuck. I love it.
Mhm.
I want drafts to be highlighted more often, and the trade-off of not having draft for a set like Compendium, I'm okay making that trade this time. I don't know how many times I'm gonna be okay making that trade before I'm like, I don't want to,
That's something
you
I
know.
was gonna mention. There's we're gonna have a lot of seasons like back to back to back, like real quick, because we have, well, Pro Quest for Yokohama season just ended. Pro Quest Yokohama is beginning of next year. We'll have the RTN, which will start at the beginning of next year, January. The RTN season will begin. It'll happen right before the release of Compendium, I believe. And then right after that, we go into Pro Tour, Pro Quest season for Pro Tour Vegas, because Vegas is in July. So that'll have to be maybe 2 months after that, maybe a month and a half after that, um, to like line up with scheduling and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, so we're gonna have a lot of seasons back to back. I mean, I think it's gonna be, we're gonna see a lot of shakeups in the game. Our obviously RTN seasons and Pro Quest seasons not inflate, but they infuse the format or the game with 1,500 points for our heroes. So
Yeah.
we might see some heroes LL. We might see some things kind of get crazy, because so many things are happening so quickly in succession. But yeah, I was just thinking about that right now. I was like, oh damn. Yeah, it is in July. But yeah, you will definitely see us in July. Um, I think the hard thing that we're gonna have to balance is Flesh and Blood events with Magic events and the like, because we got a lot of those coming up too. So
Yeah. Do you want to talk Magic very quickly before we?
yeah,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and talk about Magic. I've been
So the
doing
only thing.
Flambe's voice.
Oh
As-
God, Dispatch.
yeah, my bad. We've been
Okay.
obsessed with that game too. Oh
Okay.
god.
So the only thing that has happened recently that has caught our attention in Magic, other than Atla release, because we're excited for Avatar, we want to see that. We can talk about that if you want to after.
Mhm.
Other than that, Vivi just got banned in Standard. That's important because Vivi was an insane chunk of the meta game, best deck, um, but it got banned. Like not a piece out of the Vivi deck. Vivi the card got banned, kind of
Mm.
like hitting Nadu. Like they just killed the whole deck.
Yes.
The only thing I want to know is when did the print run for Final Fantasy stop?
Right.
When did that happen in relation to this ban? That's what I'm interested in. That's all I have to say.
Is that gonna form our opinions, or not opinions, but like a the beginning of tracking when cards can be banned from these UB sets? It's like, okay, well, it stopped in September, so we have 2 months before they can ban cards. Okay, like
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, okay, yeah,
something like that.
that's what I'm thinking as well. Um, yeah, that is a big thing too. I was looking into, like, obviously we've been talking a lot about competitive play and like competitive integrity when it comes to these games. Obviously we play so many fucking games,
Too
and
many.
yeah, too many.
Truly too many.
Um, and I was under the impression, like, I'm not under the impression. I just, in my personal opinion, I found that Magic standard Magic, um, was just like not a very competitive format. Um, it just didn't feel like there was much competition. It kind of felt high rolly. Kind of felt like the issue that people have in other games, or for instance, like people had with Blitz and Flesh and Blood, which is just like you kind of just you high roll your opponent, you get too far ahead, and then nothing happens, and it's like, okay, cool. Or you're playing in the mirror, and it's just one person hits and the other person doesn't, and it's like, okay, like that feels really bad. Um, and hopefully this addresses that and fixes that and helps move towards a more competitive format. I would obviously want competitive Magic to be successful. I love Magic, and I've had a fun time with Magic, especially in the competitive scene. Modern specifically, Modern looks fucking cool though. I've been seeing a lot of Modern
Mhm,
play, and I don't think Modern got hit. I think Modern was the only thing that didn't get hit. We saw Legacy hits. We saw a
mhm.
Pauper hit. High Tide got hit. Fuck that card. Um, and
Damn.
no, I
Damn.
hate that card. I hate the few times that I played it. Like, I mean, I don't hate it. I like it in Commander. It's fine in Commander.
Yeah.
But
Oh
in
yeah.
in Pauper, it's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, ah. But yeah. So I'm excited to see what that means. But as far as Atla goes, Atla looks fun, bro. It looks like I want to draft it, which is weird. Don't know if I'm gonna
Yeah.
draft much of it, but I want to.
Hmm.
Obviously we have a lot of other things going on this season, and I don't know if Atla can take that much of my money. So it is what it is. But um,
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
I gotta finish. I gotta finish building Syndra. She's so good.
I've spent all my store credit on Riftbound, so uh, yeah, I'm a little strapped for store credit for the time being, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we
Uh,
get out of here, let me get your prediction on Worlds Philly, Flesh and Blood Worlds Philadelphia. We are at the time of recording this. We are like the first couple rounds are being played.
yeah.
Right? Like I got to finish round one before we got in here. I watched that. What an amazing game. Talk about not like having like okay, I'm not even gonna get into it. What are your predictions? Who's taking it or what hero's taking it?
I don't even know who's there. I don't know what hero's taking it. I don't know what they're playing. I haven't looked at who's playing what. I don't know any information. I'm gonna say this and people will be like, that's not even what he was playing, you idiot. But I'm gonna be like, oh, I
I'm
want.
just gonna tell you right now, Pablo Pintor's on Kasai.
Is he
Just a
really?
heads up. He's on Kasai.
That deck is good. Pablo is a really good player. What's Yuki on? That's what I want to know.
Yuki's on Syndra. Yuki's on Syndra.
Mm, two players I love.
Yeah.
Uh,
Trehay's on Syndra, I believe.
Trey's on Syndra, not Verdance. Interesting.
Trey, I don't think Trehay's on Verdance. Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you mean you could be right. I'm just it just
Yeah.
if it's right, it's I would say he plays. That guy can play anything.
Hamilton's on Syndra.
Hamilton's on Syndrome. Listen, I posted, so I think Flesh and Blood, the official channel, asked like for anonymous posts or whatever, and I was like, listen, I think Syndra wins. I think Puffin wins my heart, right? Like Puffin's all that's where I'm at. So if there's Puffin players out there, I want them to win, obviously. Go all the
I don't think
way.
there's a Puffin at the event, bro.
No, come on. Don't do that to me, man. Okay.
There's 3 Katsu at the event.
What?
I'm hoping beyond hope. There's 3 Katsus. There's 1 Riptide. 16 KO.
No, I think Syndra is probably the best positioned. My dark horse pick though, dark horse quote unquote, still very very strong deck. But the deck that I really want to just like get some love, in the form of being really fun to play is Dio. I'd love for
There's an 18 Dio.
I think she's pretty good. I think that she has a couple bad matchups, but I don't necessarily think that Syndra is one of them. So my hope is that there's enough Syndra to offset the fact, this is Snap, blah 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 blah
Also a
blah.
bunch of Mario.
Mario. That deck is the best deck in the format, so that makes sense. Um,
Oh
but
shit.
yeah,
What? Oh,
yeah. I told you
okay.
earlier, watching the best deck in the format go crazy. Go ahead and go watch game two, and you let me know. But yeah,
I got game 2 up. I got it paused for this. Got to get my attention here.
yeah.
But
Nah,
yeah, Mario's
that's a
there.
joke. I mean, Mario is very good. Mario has a lot of high roll potential. Mario can just fucking put his thumb on your forehead and keep you down. Um, it's when he stumbles, it's when he doesn't do those things, and then he starts to slowly fall behind. That it's like, oh, I shouldn't say, so, but it's like, oh, hey, like that's now this deck kind of blows, and like kind of like the same thing like with like Mech and a couple other like heroes at the moment, where it's like they're either super streamlined, super fucking strong, or they're kind of floating the tracks, trying to find their good hands and try to figure out what they're doing. I think that's what
Hmm.
makes Syndra such a good choice. Syndra, Gravy, Verdance is that there's just so fucking consistent, like
Yeah.
so consistent. But yeah, my
Yeah.
hope is that one of
Watching every
these.
card in Syndra B4 value is wild.
Mhm.
I have a
Uh,
5 card hand. That means I have 20 value. I have a
uh,
4 card hand. That's 16 value.
as far as players go, I think there's always going to be a soft spot for Pablo. He's just like he's such a nice guy, and good player and everything else. But I don't know like who's been on a tear recently. Yes, Arthur's been on a tear. I don't know. Like there's so many good choices. I think that's one thing about this game I will say is that when you're on a hot streak, it feels like it's hard to end. So I'm trying to look at what
CYK
players are good.
Lionel
Lionel,
taking a
dude,
good amount. And he is on
he's
Dio,
Dio.
I think, in both formats.
That makes sense. That
I
makes
think I
sense.
think he went Dio LL and CC.
I'm gonna say, all right. I'm then. You know what? We'll put one out there. I want Dio to win, so I'll say COIK Lionel on Dio. Double Dio is fun. That's what I would be doing too. Probably, I'd either be on Dio or Puffin, and my LL deck would be Dio for sure. So,
I'd be on a good deck or I'd be on Puffin.
hey man, listen. Just because she has pirate in her text, man. All right, listen. Okay. But yeah.
No.
So yeah. What
My
about you?
my prediction, it's less of a prediction, more of like cheering like a fan,
Mm,
right? I got a sports team, I got stake in. I want Syndra to take it. I love ninjas. Um, I think the only person I could want to take it more than myself is Yuki. Yuki pioneered the deck that Syndra had on her first win at a big event on like release weekend of Hunted. And since then, I've just wanted like Syndra to take down more and more events. And I think Yuki being there on Syndra is just flavor wise, thematic wise, storytelling wise, so satisfying to take Worlds on Syndra.
Yeah.
So that's my bid, Yuki on
Yeah.
Syndra.
Fuck yeah. Get her out of here. Give her that
No,
200 points. Push her straight
dude,
to the
she
fucking top.
Syndra has nearly as many points as Katsu now. Like 20 points away from Katsu, and it's like,
I think it's also she's still in the first year, so she still get at a point .5 modifier. So she'll actually only get 100 points if she wins, but still, you know.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, it is what it is. All right,
All
that's
right,
been
you want to
fun.
take us out of here?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to catch up. I'm glad we got to talk a little bit. Hopefully, we can be back sooner rather than later, and we can talk a little bit more about games. We got a couple more things on the horizon, more sets, more things happening. So, should be a good time. But yeah, thanks for watching. Love you all. Peace.